Who doesn't love a good kebab? I'm going to show you my family recipe for beef spadini. It's loaded up with vegetables, Italian sausage, beef. It's going with an amazing amoyu sauce, and it's brought to you by omeprazole orally disintegrating tablets. Spiedini translates from Italian to English simply as skewers. So essentially, I'm making fancy Italian meat kebabs. Now, this recipe has been around in my family for probably over 75 years, but I'm going to take it and tweak it a little bit, make it my own, serve it up with an amazing tomato sauce, which we need to get started on ASAP. Sound good? Let's cook. We're going to be making something called amoyu, which is really heavy on garlic and oregano. So to start off, we are going to run quite a few garlic cloves through a garlic press. You can absolutely finely dice these up, but like I always say, I'm done chopping garlic in this life. Next, in a blender, I've got some delicious San Marzano tomatoes, which are a little bit sweeter. They are whole plum and peeled. I'm going to add those right to a blender. You could also run these through a food mill if you'd like. We simply want to puree them till smooth. You don't need to go any farther and incorporate a bunch of air so that the sauce looks pink when it's done. This is perfect. Head over to a cooktop. I've got a medium-sized sauce pot. I'm going to add in some extra virgin olive oil. I'm going to immediately turn the heat on to low. We do not want this to be hot because what we're going to do next is add in our garlic. Now, we're not looking for any sort of light toast on it. We just want it to cook. And like I was always told, even coming up through culinary school, once you smell garlic, it's done. At this point, add in your pureed San Marzano tomatoes. We are just going to give this a little stir to sort of incorporate everything. And then what I'm going to do is squeeze in the juice of one lemon. I'm simply using my other hand to catch all those seeds like you see here. Now what we're going to do is add the half lemon in there. And what we want to do is continue to cook it and simmer it over low heat. This is actually perfect timing because while that sauce is infusing all those flavors together, we can start prepping up our spadini, starting with vegetables. Here we go. I've got a couple of bell peppers and a yellow onion, and really what I want to do is make 1-inch pieces. So simply seed the red bell pepper and then cut them into those perfect squares. We are going to do the exact same thing here with green bell peppers. If you have a yellow bell pepper, I advise you use that. Use what you like in this recipe. Next, we're going to do the exact same thing with a peeled yellow onion. You could use a red onion, a white onion, or even a sweet onion in this case. Go ahead and set it to the side on a plate. And now I've got an eye of round beef. This is going to be a perfect steak and act as our beef spadini here in our skewered recipe. So thinly slice it across the grain to make sure it's not chewy. You could actually also use a top sirloin, even a sirloin steak, a filet mignon. You can get creative here depending on your budget. Just continue to thinly slice them until the meat is completely used up. This will also freeze well, so don't worry if you have extra. Now what we want to do is set up our breading. So in a little pie tin or a bowl, I like pie tins, we're going to add in some extra virgin olive oil. In the other one, I've got some breadcrumbs, going to hit it with a little grated Parmesan cheese. And then this is very important, season it extremely well with sea salt and fresh cracked black pepper, because this is what is going to flavor up our beef and a lot of what's on our skewer. Mix it together to make sure it's combined, and then to bread them up, simply add one thinly sliced beef piece at a time to the olive oil. Make sure it is nice and coated. It's going to add some great flavor from that oil as well. Then transfer it right over to the breadcrumbs. Then you want to take the time here to make sure these are breaded off. We don't want the breading to fall off when we're cooking it. So pack it in there, make sure it's really on there, and then simply set it to the side. But don't just set it to the side. What you want to do is roll it up so it's like a mini roulade. My family actually puts a tomato in the center. I'm not going to do that because I have the tomato sauce. If you feel like they're too big, simply slice it in half. No big deal. Again, if you have extra, these freeze really well. Now to plate up, I've got some Italian beef and also some bay leaves to skewer up. And let me stop and say this. You can absolutely add whatever ingredients you want to your spadini. While this one is an old family recipe that I've tweaked a little bit, you could use pork, you could use chicken, you could add yellow bell peppers, you could add zucchini, squash, you name it. Make it work for you. Use what you have, use what you like. It's super important. Now here is how we skewer up these guys. This part is really up to you. I usually start with beef and I push it all the way down. Next, I'm going to add a little piece of bay leaf. Do not add a whole bay leaf. It will be really intense in flavor. And then you add all of the other ingredients as you see fit. I've got some green bell peppers, obviously. I've got some onions. And then I have bulk loose Italian sausage. It is mild. You could use spicy if you want. I take a little piece and shove it down on there. And then you simply add on all of the ingredients until they're completely used up. This will make about 10 total skewers, which will feed in between 6 and 7 people. Again, it freezes great. I can't say it enough. Now we're going to head over to a cooktop. You could absolutely grill these, and my dad swears by grilling, but I'm big in pan searing, and especially because I have a griddle, or if you have a big cast iron skillet, that would work excellent as well. And over medium-high heat, or about 350 degrees, we want to sear these for in between 3 and 4 minutes per side. Simply come back after that time and give them a little quarter turn so that they're perfectly golden brown on all sides. This looks amazing and it smells amazing. And once they're done, you can simply keep them warm in the oven at 300 degrees or serve them right away. But gosh, I cannot wait to eat these. And it's like I always say, you start understanding these fundamental cooking techniques, like how to make proper kebabs, or in this case, spadini, making an awesome dipping sauce. You start applying these and getting creative and putting them into your own recipes and practicing these things on a daily basis. Your homemade food from scratch will always taste better. I always say it, better than the restaurants, better than the stores, you name it. Now what we want to do is finish off this amoyu sauce with a good amount of fresh chopped oregano, season it with sea salt and fresh cracked black pepper. We want to give it a little stir, and I can't even tell you how amazing this smells. This would be an awesome pasta sauce or even a dipping sauce for just about anything else. Now let's head over to our countertop and get ready to eat these up. I seriously cannot wait to get into this. It smells amazing in here. But first, I don't know about you, but I deal with acid reflux and heartburn. Maybe it's because I'm Italian. And to counter this, I take omeprazole ODT, which helps treat the symptoms of frequent heartburn. It's a really simple, easy to take 14-day regimented course and will allow me to eat all of these amazing foods, especially during these seasons. Now let's plate up in slow-mo. I'm gonna serve these on a cutting board. You could obviously put them on a platter, which would be pretty traditional. You want to serve the amoyu sauce on the side, and then I always finish off with a little fresh chopped parsley. You could use herbs as well, maybe a little rosemary or even some of that oregano. You serve it with the amoyu sauce, but you could also pour on a little bit all over the skewers, and oh my goodness, check out this beauty. I want to reiterate again, be sure to remove that bay leaf and of course the skewer before you eat it. These are just so good. I know they will be your new favorite kebab moving forward. Be sure to like this video, definitely subscribe to my channel and check out this video because it is super good. I'll see you on there.